Today we are installing pit bars on this Tahoe. It's a generation starting in 2025. To get started, we'll remove the skid plate and the inner fascia support bracket. Also, if you're installing on a grappler that's already been installed on the vehicle, we'll remove these two bolts on each side. Originally they're 1.25 inches. We do supply 1.5 inch bolts in our kit for our pit bars. Once we get those bolts out, we have our pieces off, we can move around here to our hole placement. Now that our hole location is marked, we're going to use a hole saw that's 1 5/8. You can probably go up to 1 3/4 if you want. And before drilling, make sure the wires or anything else that's behind here is out of the way. So here's our bracket. We're gonna first slide it from inside and get it through the hole, slide it over our frame, and take note that these two welded together, these two bolts, they're 1/2-13s, they're gonna drop in the bottom. The blue color code is an M12, so we gotta make sure that we keep the hardware separate. We're not gonna put a washer on the top. We're gonna put that right there, a washer and a stover's nut from underneath. It's helpful to have someone center this bar on the hole as we're tightening the bracket. Okay? The bolts get torqued to 60 foot-pounds. We know that this is right about 60 foot-pounds of torque on this impact driver. So we use a 3/4 inch swivel with an extension. It's a lot easier than trying to get a torque wrench in there. Now is a good time to reinstall this fascia support. We're going to use a button head without a washer. It's important to get this side started first. So at a minimum, get that started. And we're using our 1.5 inch bolts for those two bottom. So we have an 1.25 inch going in the back, a washer on each side. Now for clearance purposes, we're using a button head without a washer right here, our clearance with our main arms. So you may have to snug these up to get that to pull in, but we have it, I believe it's a 1 inch, and we don't want it too long because we do have to face it the opposite way and we want it to look as good as possible. Now that our hardware is torqued to 60 foot-pounds, we're going to put the final piece on, which is this outside rubber. Take note that there's a short distance between this bolt and the edge of the rubber, it goes toward the back of the vehicle. We'll press that in there and add our 2 nuts. Now that this side is complete, we're going to repeat the same process on the other side. At the end, we'll make sure that our skid plate's back on and any parts that we took off are back on the vehicle.